Welcome! Welcome to Vince News. I'm your friend, Amit Roy. Uh, Everybody knows about Japan. Peaceful, loving, cultured, and very safe. You don't see a lot of theft and other things in Japan. That's what we all think. Very polite, nice. But that Japan has a very dark side. We are going to talk about that. That is Yakuza, the Japanese Mafia. Please like me before that I want to beg. Please like me and subscribe me, my channel. Now, Yakuza is a dangerous thing. When I was in Japan, I had many friends, but they never tried to discuss once even about Yakuza, the Japanese Mafia. They don't want to talk about that, you see. The Japanese are very nice, very polite, very loving. But once I wanted to talk about Yakuza, they will never talk. They say, okay, nah, something. They try to avoid that word even. That's a dangerous gang, you see, Yakuza. They're involved in the Japanese Mafia. Can you believe a mafia is giving you the name card, visiting card? At least in India, I didn't see like that, you see. Now, in these days, political parties have become mafias. They're making a lot of money. They're involved in education scam, making a lot of money in India. But, and of course, there are Indian mafias, but I didn't know much about that. Corporatized kind of mafia. I saw that in Japan first week. I was working on different crime syndicates. Then, later on, of course, but in Japan, Japanese mafia is absolutely different. If you compare them with triads or tongs in China, they are different. Little similarities are there, of course. But if you talk about Honduran mafia, M19, they're absolutely different. But Japanese mafia, Yakuza, has many interesting things and very fierce. It is being told that they had a root, they were involved in 17th century. I don't know. Actually, they flourished after General MacArthur took over. And then there was a lot of black marketing in Japan after Second World War. And Yakuza evolved from that place, from that situation. So these are a criminal gang. They live in their own area. But a lot of tourists will never know because if you're wearing a business suit, you'll not know who is Yakuza, who is not. They are located in different few areas in Tokyo and other places. One is Kabukicho, red light area. I walked on that area, but I didn't know that much, you see. But I saw them. I didn't know that's a red light area. Because that's very famous area also. And Ueno, Shinjuku. One day I was sitting in Shinjuku station. One Yakuza came. That time I knew he was a Yakuza. He was fat, big. He sat beside me and said, Sukareta. That means, am I tired? Shigoto. That means, do I want a job? I don't know. My body reacted. I was younger and a little wide. And I was drinking a Coca-Cola can. And I pressed that can in front of him and walked away. He got terribly angry. He said, Correct! That means F-U dash dash dash. Correct! And then I walked away and went to the police box. Police said, hey, what you have done? You want to commit suicide? No, that is the reputation. One day I was coming by train via Meguro. There's a famous area called Meguro. And I'm going to Ueno, I think. Another famous area in Tokyo. And one Yakuza I found beating others in train. It doesn't happen in Japan. It's impossible. Japanese don't fight with each other. These are the, kind of thing. They are very much tattooed. Only time you can see them if you go to a public bath, Sento or Ofuro. I used to go sometime there, and then I could see, lower class Sento no Furo. Then you can see them taking bath because they open their shirts. Now Japan has after 12, 2012, I guess, has, enacted some few dangerous laws that if you have that kind of tattoos, or any tattooed man cannot go to the swimming pool. They can't play golf. They can't go to sea beach. They can't. They have, yeah, I guess Yakuza law. So Yakuza are a little cornered these days. But now I come to the point that how tattoos are, expressing themselves. This is called irizumi. I guess, the irizumi tattoos, or it's also called taberi. Now it has, they will depict you with different kind of motifs. One is a dragon, one is tiger. In tiger and dragon are very much eternal enemy. So they have tiger and dragon. Tiger is a picture of courage and vigor everywhere. And dragon, they have good luck. They sometimes have a kannan, that means bodhisattva, sometimes in their back. And they have also koi, Japanese carp, the fish. That's also symbolism of life, vigor, etc. And that replaces also the dragon. They use 4 colors. One is, I remember, blue, red, green, and yellow. It's very painful, to do that. So, if you don't have that, you are not a Yakuza. Now, Yakuzas are dealing with mainly drugs. If I go to Shinjuku area, they'll call me. Or some area, mayaku, very strange. Mayaku means drugs in Japanese. They sell drugs, synthetic drugs. I was in narcotics, so I knew that, And that was I was trained like that, so no, I knew about that. And they're also interested in gambling, human trafficking, prostitutions. They go to Philippines, bring a lot of Filipinas for soprando, their kind of, prostitution kind of thing. And blackmailing, extortion. So they're so violent, you see, this structure is very pyramidal. And over on top there is a boss. Lower level Yakuzas there. There is a code of honor. They call them samurais. They are not samurais. They are cheap criminals. But they think they are samurais. And they say, I'm there to help weak against powerful. That's not the case, actually. Extremely violent. I've seen a lot of just bash sake bottles on the other side just to show and feel how strong they are, and that man can take that pounding or not. Japanese it's a very strange kind of society. They want to prove they get a lot of pain. That's what they take that tattoo, all body tattoo, Yakuza tattoo. And that's very painful. So that is also one reason they want to show that we are so strong. And it is a Confucian society in some way. So gambling takes an important part in Japanese society. And you can see pachinko parlors, and there's another game, just forgot that name right now. This is all gambling, pinball, pachinko. So Yakuza control that kind of thing. Also, very interestingly, Yakuza has a stock market and company related crimes also. They buy some stock, they will go to shareholders meeting, they will create mayhem, and that kind of things. Yakuza is also used by the companies sometimes. And it's being told that there was a time there were very few policemen, thus Yakuzas were used. Like LDP, Japanese ruling party, have a lot of connections with Yakuzas. So, and they paid for that also. Like, there is a great Mitsubishi scam. We can see that, they go to shareholders meeting, they create mayhem there, and they play on both the sides. And Fuji film, the director was killed by Yakuza because he didn't pay production money. So these are the things you see. And now Yakuza, look, there's another thing. Very interesting. In Japan, a lot of people say, hey man, be careful. You can see a lot of people walking in Tokyo without few fingers. Oh my god, I really saw few people have few fingers. That is called Yubisume. That means you have to cut your fingers. Because if you're a Yakuza gang member and if you have discredited the boss, they're called Uebun. The boss called Uebun. And then you have to, in older days, samurai had to commit suicide, seppuku. But in the modern world, you don't need to do that. What do you have to do? You banded your finger and you cut it and present it to your Uebun, your boss. So, these are the things. You can see a lot of people. I saw, my God, people have few fingers. They cut the fingers. So these are the trade. But in general, you unless you live in Japan, once you're dressed, they're dressed. You will not know who is Yakuza, who is not. Because you see, only thing they talk very rough, their postures are very rough. They also correct that kind of thing. But they are not like American M19 mafia, like coming after you every time. No, they are not like that. They are very business minded in many ways. They will say, look, they are doing for money, blah, blah, blah. But they are doing for money. But they are violent, but they're very calculated violence I have seen they use. Not like random violence like American Mafia, M90s, etc. They're very cheap quality mafia. But Yakuza will not do that. They will go to Nepal and Philippines, Thailand. I met one in Bangkok airport. He said that he is a flower marcher, but actually he was a Yakuza because I talked with him and I knew moment I knew he was a Yakuza. Because the way he talked, the way he used the language, so I could feel he's a Yakuza. Moment there I could understand. Anyway, you see, Yakuza also use when someone asking me other day, do they mess with police? No, they don't mess with police. Because I think why? Because Yakuza knows they have to be sent if in that event with the altercation or problem with police, they'll be sent to Japanese jail, infamous Japanese jail. Japanese jails are very, very difficult place to live. Worst place, in democratic world. And you have no right. And Yakuza knows that you have to go there for 5-6 years, you lose a lot of money in business. So I guess Yakuza do not mess with police. And they have some linkage with police. They also work as informers with police sometimes. And now, after stringent Yakuza law, they cannot rent rooms. Their life is a problem. Before there was 80,000 Yakuza, the Yakuza have come down. Secondly, their Chinese gangs are rising. Golden Dragon, etc. There are gangs, they're fighting with Yakuza these days. Now, there are a few classic, traditional Yakuza gangs. You can find out how dangerous they are. One is Yakuza Yamaguchi Gumi. Gumi is their organization. And Sumiyoshi Gimi, the Sumiyoshi Kai. Kai means gang organization. And Inagawa Kai, these are and they have crashed also. And for them, the boss is master. Bosses are, they're cheap quality person. I don't think they have any integrity. Like all mafias, they are very cheap and third-class people. So a lot of people get inspired by the tattoos and all. But I said, don't do that. Don't do that. These are not nice. These are not Japan. Very dangerous. I would advise others to see one Michael Douglas film called Black Rain. and where they could see Ibisume, etc. And there are many, many violent movies in Japan about Yakuza. So, but I will say this is scar mark in Japan. I detest that kind of persons. That's the worst experience in Japan. My experience in Japan. I didn't like them. And I have seen them from close quarter. So this is my submission for you. Please like me and subscribe my channel. Best wishes. Thank you very much. And we should be very careful when you go to Japan. Do not go to this area. Do not mix. Talk to them, this kind of people. Thank you very much.